Look, I gotta get back to the set.
Is there a part in there for me?
Number 20, Misha Barton. Even if you didn't watch The OC back in the aughts, there's a good chance you knew who Misha Barton was.
Hey, you should come by, check it out. If you don't have other plans.
While she'd appeared on screen since the mid-90s, it was her role as Marissa Cooper on the Fox television show that made her not only a star, but the it girl of 2003 according to Entertainment Weekly. Since the end of the 2000s, Barton has continued to work, earning praise for her roles in various independent movies, including 2014's Star-Crossed. While The OC didn't mark the end of Barton's career by any means, she hasn't really seen the same type of mainstream success since she left the show after its third season.
Shut up.
We're getting out of here.
No, I am. Enjoy the party.
Number 19, Jane Child. If your first thought was Jane who, you surely aren't alone.
It's easy to ignore it. Hide your head and...
Back in 1989, the thought that Jane Child would be pretty much forgotten seemed almost impossible after the release of her self-titled debut album. An album that spent 22 weeks on the Billboard 200. An album on which she wrote and produced every song and played almost every instrument. This feat earned her the title of the female Prince. With her signature nose chain piercing and a number 2 hit single on the Billboard Hot 100, the music world appeared to be Child's melodic oyster. However, she only managed to put out 2 unsuccessful efforts after that, the last one being all the way back in 2002. Number 18, Pauly Shore. These days, it seems like a Herculean task coming across Pauly Shore, but back in the 90s, it was almost impossible to avoid him.
This could mean fame or money or popularity.
Far too much responsibility for me. Anyways, I'm already popular.
Shore was one of the biggest MTV VJs of the decade, and starred in a slew of mindless comedies from Encino Man to In the Army Now, to Jury Duty. None of these were massive hits, and yet they kept making them, at least until the critically bashed box office disappointment Biodome.
What do you boys want out of life?
To die and come back as a leotard?
The 1996 stoner comedy flick sure felt like the beginning of Shore's fall off the map. A fall so steep that he co-wrote, produced, directed, and starred in a 2003 mockumentary about his fictional attempt to fake his own death just to reboot his career.
Why should I do that?
You go down as a genius who died before his time. Like me, or Belushi. Which would you rather be, a dead genius or a living idiot? You idiot!
Number 17, Macaulay Culkin. Falls off the map are obviously relative, but few people on this list started theirs from a greater height than Macaulay Culkin.
I'm up here, come and get me!
Following the uber success of Home Alone in 1990, Culkin saw his star skyrocket to a level few child actors have ever reached. In 1992, he was paid $4.5 million for Home Alone 2, and made 5 more films in the following 2 years. VH1 called him the second greatest kid star of all time.
Capital appreciation is all well and good, but not without a sound growth strategy.
Well, I've got only one word to say to you: pork bellies. So what do you think, Rich?
I think all we ever talk about is money. We should be having fun.
Culkin took a break from acting between 1994 and 2003, and has appeared in a few movies and TV shows since, including a well-received turn in season 10 of American Horror Story. So while Culkin might still be on a map, it's decidedly a much smaller one.
Hey Google, what's on my calendar today?
You have one event called House to Yourself.
Oh yeah.
Number 16, Piper Parabo. In 1999, Piper Parabo was a struggling actress earning a living as a waitress in New York. Then in 2000, she starred in Coyote Ugly, and everything changed.
Where are you going? I don't know. I gotta walk or celebrate or pass out or something.
Hey, ladies and gents, how about a big round of applause for the singing coyote from Jersey?
Critics might not have liked the film, but with its over $110 million gross at the box office, it's clear audiences disagreed with them. Coyote Ugly made Parabo a star, but instead of riding that wave to superstardom, the Texas-born actress turned to indie films.
How you holding up?
Good.
You good?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Notwithstanding, she's found consistent work, appearing in The Prestige and starring in USA Network's Covert Affairs in the early 2010s. Despite this, her star has never shined brighter than it did in 2000.
You can fight it. It's gonna get to your heart.
Number 15. Shannon Elizabeth. Did you know that Shannon Elizabeth was a very active poker player in the second half of the 2000s? That she had 4 cashes at the World Series of Poker and was hailed as, quote, one of the leading celebrity poker players?
I mean, I've been working really hard and practicing, but one of the biggest things, like a change that I've been making just in my overall life, is the law of attraction and positive energy, and really trying to picture the cards I need and not to picture the cards I don't want.
Did you also know that she's an environmentalist and activist who has spent decades fighting for animal protection and conservation? Though impressive, none of that comes close to making a dent in pop culture, like her appearance in 1999's American Pie.
You have seen me. Now it's my turn to see you.
Elizabeth bared it all, or almost all, for her role as foreign exchange student Nadia, and became a teen comedy legend. While she might have fallen off the map, we think the one she's on now is still pretty important.
I love animals, and there's just something about them needing us, and all of the problems that they're having right now are because of us. It's not nature. Their issues are not each other, it's us. So if we got him into this, we have to get him out.
Number 14. Josh Hartnett. From his 1998 film debut in Halloween H2O 20 years later, Josh Hartnett was on the fast track to Hollywood stardom.
Look, Mom, help me out here. I need a little more open air. I've earned it.
Over the next 5 years, he appeared in Teen People magazine's 21 Hottest Stars Under 21 and 25 Hottest Stars Under 25. The late 90s and aughts saw Hartnett in huge blockbusters, including Black Hawk Down and Pearl Harbor, as well as smaller dramas like The Virgin Suicides. Since 2010, Hartnett has done good work in TV shows like Penny Dreadful, but he's nowhere near the huge star he was back in the day. However, he seems very happy about it, saying in regards to his fame, quote, I was up there for a couple of years, and it was uncomfortable.
I knew that it wasn't healthy at the time, and I wanted to be around people that I cared about and I knew cared about me, and I had no doubts about that. So the best thing for me to do was to take a step back and kind of reassess my life.
Number 13. Alicia Silverstone. As endearing as Paul Rudd and Brittany Murphy were in Clueless, it was Alicia Silverstone who became a household name after the film's 1995 release.
Totally based on my powers of persuasion. You proud?
Honey, I couldn't be happier than if they were based on real grades.
Clueless was so popular that it got Silverstone a multi-million-dollar deal with Columbia TriStar and landed her the role of Batgirl in 1997's Batman and Robin. Unfortunately, the movie was a critical disaster and earned Silverstone the Razzie Award for Worst Supporting Actress.
But it doesn't matter because I've already won all the money I need to do what I've always dreamed.
Well, just don't tell me you want to run off and join the circus.
As the 21st century rolled around, Silverstone slowly transitioned from leading lady able to open a film on her own to overlooked supporting actress. Regardless, she still allows herself to have a little fun revisiting her Clueless days in commercials and lip-sync battles.
Cup of Ace, cup of Goose, cup of Chris, high heels, something worth a half a ticket on my wrist.
Number 12. Freddie Prince Jr. If you were a teen girl in the late 90s and early 2000s, there's a good chance you had a picture of Freddie Prince Jr. hanging in your locker or taped inside your Trapper Keeper.
Art.
Art? You don't take art.
How do you know?
From She's All That to the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise, plus a couple Scooby-Doo flicks, Prince Jr. was a mainstay teen dream of that era. He even got his own eponymous sitcom in 2005, which lasted 1 season.
They haven't taken everything. I still have my wine room and my pool table.
Had he been heard in a Star Wars movie back then, it would have been big news. But in 2019, his voice cameo as Kanan Jarrus in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker probably went unnoticed by half the audience.
In the heart of a Jedi lies her strength.
Number 11. Tara Reid. Hollywood will always have room for a pretty blue-eyed blondie, and in the late 1990s and early 2000s, Tara Reid rose above the rest.
Such a perfect evening. I mean, it's how you've always pictured it, isn't it?
American Pie, Van Wilder, and Josie and the Pussycats fit her talents to a T. There was a section of the public so interested in her that in 2005, E! Gave her her own reality travel show called Paradise. But while she was a definite it girl, she was never really respected as an actress by the media.
What's the matter, Snuggle Bunny? Finally realizing the world isn't all sunshine and rainbows? Stop it. Not everyone gets a happy ending, Muffin. Stop it.
She also had to deal with some botched plastic surgery and a barrage of negative comments about her body by the tabloid press and fans. She did do 6 Sharknado movies though, so that ought to count for something.
You can't destroy this Sharknado! This is our future! This is our destiny!
Number 10. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. He went from being a bowl-cut babe to a tiger beat king before he was old enough to drive. In the 1990s, JTT was a walking and talking teen dream.
What makes you say that?
Because ever since you came out back, she's been staring at you.
He starred on one of the decade's most popular TV shows, Home Improvement, lent his voice to one of the most iconic animated movies of all time when he played Simba in The Lion King, and his photo was plastered on the walls of countless bedrooms. What more could someone want?
There's more to being king than getting your way all the time.
There's more?
The answer was to trade the spotlight for his studies. At the height of his fame, Thomas left Home Improvement to hit the books, openly expressing his desire to attend college.
I like being at school. And, I definitely want to go to college.
Today, the rarely photographed Thomas continues to live away from the spotlight, though he has continued to act periodically.
A lot of times that middle child ends up being the funny one because he wants the attention.
Number 9. Jamie Walters. He had boyish good looks, a bit of a mysterious streak, and Donna Martin's eye. What more could Jamie Walters want?
When it's all too much, you need some human touch to see it's really not so bad.
Lots of teen idols from the 90s have strong name recognition, and in some cases, a decades-long career. But the pinnacle of Jamie Walters' success occurred during the decade of plaid. Walters achieved peak popularity between 1992 and 1994 after starring in 2 drama series, The Heights and the smash hit Beverly Hills 90210, and scoring a #1 hit with the former's theme song, How Do You Talk to an Angel?
How do you talk to an angel?
He wasn't able to match his career success in the years that followed, however, so Walters left the entertainment business and traded fame for fanning out flames as a firefighter.
He enjoys the balance he has created in his life and remembers the musical heights he scaled fondly.
Number 8. Stacy Keenan. If you were channel surfing during the 80s or 90s, there was a very good chance you would have come across Stacy Keenan, who was a then teen queen, or soon-to-be one, of the small screen.
It takes a lot of planning on our parts, to make sure that your life is, what's the word?
Perfect.
Perfect.
She starred in 2 back-to-back television success stories, My Two Dads and Step by Step, and a few guest appearances on TV shows and a handful of films. But the actress gradually disappeared from the entertainment circuit by the 2010s.
Dana, I could use you in the other room.
For what?
Right now, the only thing I can think of is a piñata.
Not only did Keenan completely fall off the map, she decided to embark on an entirely different career trajectory. She now spends her time away from the spotlight, channeling her passion for education into teaching, while also exploring the world of law through working as a district attorney.
What about intellectual stimulation? A love of learning, a thirst for knowledge.
Wow.
You mean I'm finally getting through to you?
Number 7. Angus T Jones. Compared to the whirlwind lifestyle of his Two and a Half Men co-star Charlie Sheen, Angus T Jones's life after finding career-defining success followed a completely opposite path. Known for playing the half portion of the show's titular men, Jones underwent a profound religious experience, as co-star John Cryer later described.
That has changed who he feels he is, and it's his choice to participate or not. We love him.
He also began to publicly analyze the show's conflicts with his newfound religion, later describing its contents as, quote, filth. Jones fueled his distaste for the series further by calling himself a, quote, paid hypocrite for staying on despite his hesitation.
The 19-year-old star of Two and a Half Men shocking everyone by publicly dissing the show, pleading with people not to watch.
While he apologized for his comments and even appeared in the series finale, Jones rarely makes public appearances these days, and he appeared in only a handful of productions in the late 2010s after his departure from the show.
That's it? You're leaving? Nothing personal. I just got to get back to Japan and tell my wife and kids that we're rich.
Number 6. Mara Wilson. Life certainly turned out to imitate art for Mara Wilson.
I'm telling you, 6 hours a day at school is not enough.
I'll say.
The young actress, who was a silver screen staple in the early 90s, landed her breakout role in the 1996 adaptation of Roald Dahl's Matilda, capturing audiences' hearts with her big eyes and an even bigger sense of self-awareness. Following Matilda's massive success, Wilson was acutely aware of the way she related to her newfound fame, telling CBC's Q in 2016,
And I think it was hard, too, because, it felt like everybody liked her more than they liked me, and everybody knew her.
The bookish beauty later learned she would rather live a life away from the spotlight, later describing its effects as,
It was a lifestyle that I couldn't really deal with, and, I like to consider it a mutual breakup. Hollywood wasn't that interested in me anymore, and I wasn't that interested in it.
Today, Mara pursues her true passion as a full-time writer, though she's done some brief acting and some voice work in the 2010s. Number 5. Orlando Brown. By 2005, Orlando Brown had appeared in multiple successful Disney Channel shows, from a guest spot on Lizzie McGuire to starring roles in The Proud Family and That's So Raven.
I'm guaranteed to make the nation wanna follow me. I got the ladies like, oh child, I need to breathe now. Watch Eddie as I hold it steady. I'm undercover superstar, but y'all ain't ready.
However, even Raven Baxter's psychic powers couldn't possibly predict Brown's downfall a decade later. The actor gradually fell off the map, appearing in very few notable projects between 2005 and 2012, and had his first drug-related arrest in 2016.
Brown is being charged with misdemeanor domestic battery, obstruction of justice, and 2 felonies.
After 2 more arrests, the stark reality of Orlando's downfall was shown to the public when he appeared on an episode of Dr. Phil in 2018. The actor incorrectly answered Dr. Phil's questions, while also refusing his invitation for further medical intervention.
I can't dedicate another 90 days of being monitored all my life. I don't need that crap like other people. It's a slap in the face to people that actually need it.
Number 4. Lelaine. She was a fierce fashionista and always game for a trip to the mall. Could there be a cooler best friend than Miranda Sanchez? The character of Miranda from the quintessential Disney Channel show Lizzie McGuire put Lelaine on the map and made people everywhere strive for a friendship like Lizzie and Miranda's. Like many Disney divas of the 2000s, Lelaine's cool girl next door demeanor drew massive attention to the then teenager, making fame difficult for Lelaine to deal with. Opening up to fellow Disney diva Christy Carlson Romano, she explained her younger self wasn't mentally prepared for the reality of being a role model.
But I don't think you truly understand. Well, I didn't truly understand what that meant. No matter what, you have that kid mentality and that kid brain. You're still a child. Yeah, exactly.
Today, Lelaine, who struggled with substance use disorder in 2007, lives life mostly away from the spotlight, though the musician connects with fans on social media. Number 3. Frankie Muniz. Aspiring actors typically do whatever they can to reach superstardom, but this stereotypical plan wasn't Frankie Muniz's course of action.
What's this?
A study of irrigation techniques of pre-Roman society and how they led to the advancement of Western civilization.
I thought we were just studying Mesopotamian farming techniques.
We were.
I just use it as a jumping off point.
The Malcolm in the Middle star added a few film roles to his name during the 7 years he played Malcolm, but his behind-the-scenes passions were what captured his attention.
Like, I want to own an accounting firm. Like, that's what is my dream. Like, I like
Frankie, that is every child's dream.
Instead of falling off the map for any of the cliche reasons teen actors do, things slowed down on the acting front following the sitcom's end. While he had some big and small screen roles, he also suffered from 2 mini-strokes in less than a year, and began struggling with memory loss in the 2010s. However, Muniz doesn't view his experience as a struggle, with his now wife Paige's guidance as she records memories for him to look back on through journaling. Muniz is able to fully concentrate and thrive with passion projects.
I love to be able to look back, and she's a writer too, so she is amazing in detail with the way she writes, so it really does help bring me back.
Number 2, Taylor Lautner. Between playing a werewolf by day and dating outrageously popular superstars by night, the late 2000s and early 2010s were the peak period for breakout star Taylor Lautner.
Are you crashing the prom or something? Do you come with a date?
No. My dad paid me to come talk to you.
Lautner became a teen idol practically overnight by playing beloved werewolf Jacob Black in the blockbuster Twilight franchise, and was consistently featured as a cover boy on countless teen magazines between 2008 and 2012.
Let's face it, I am hotter than you.
Lautner's career had big leading man potential after the series' final film was released in 2012, but the subsequent roles the actor chose were much less popular with audiences compared to the cultural phenomenon that was Twilight.
You have a problem.
Lautner's pivot to roles that shared few similarities to his werewolf gig was intentional, as he once explained to GMA.
Do you ever get concerned that a role as successful as that could potentially pigeonhole you as an actor moving forward?
That's kind of why I want to choose things that are different.
Number 1, Amanda Bynes. It didn't matter if you asked Ashley or your friend down the street, Amanda Bynes was the new kid on the comedy block everyone wanted to watch back in the mid-90s and beyond.
Come real close to the TV, Alex. Closer, closer, closer. Sarah don't like you!
This funny gal made audiences giggle with her precocious comedic timing as a cast member on Nickelodeon's All That, and later as the host of her own variety show. Bynes' continued success during the aughts made her one of that era's most promising teen queens. But unfortunately, a string of worrisome incidents led to her professional downfall and pushed her off the map.
The once fresh-faced Hollywood starlet, seen with a sheared haircut in her latest mugshot, has emerged from her apartment to reportedly shop for a brand new wig. And despite her turbulent week, denied anything was wrong.
These personal issues were shocking due to her reputation of appearing more put together than some of her Hollywood peers, causing lots of intense media scrutiny that she has never really recovered from. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.